And they're off. Even start. Lunar Impact has speed. Here's Lulu Lemon Drop, quicker than Aldo and taking the lead. Heart of the Night comes away in third, racing on the inside of Haley Levat. It's a gap of 3. Not Now is racing in between horses, now about 5 lengths off the pace. Strikingly and Jennifer's Delight are right next to her, and Hot Tea is at the back, a long way in front of Empire d'Oro. It is Lulu Lemon Drop leading the way 3/4 of a length. Heart of the Night in second. Haley Levat on the outside third. Lunar Impact Not Now starting to pick it up in fifth, 4 lengths off the lead. From the back, Strikingly switches to the outside with the white blinkers. They're at the top of the lane. It's still Lulu Lemon Drop in front, confronted by Heart of the Night. Haley Levat just behind them. Not Now just found racing room and is starting to come. And on the inside, here's Lunar Impact finishing strongly. Far outside, Jennifer's Delight. Not Now splitting horses decisively. Not Now was much the best. Photo for second, Jennifer's Delight in that photo for the second spot, along with Heart of the Night, then Haley Levat. They're in the gate. And they're off. Limubai and Warren's Candyman, the first two. Settecento, Papale moves up, and Granada Flavor is also starting to pick up some momentum while at the back of a compact field. Warren's Candyman is the leader. Papale moves to engage second. Limubai just behind them in third. They're followed by Granada Flavor and Settecento, 3 wide, 3.5 off the lead. Papale is going to make his way to the front. Warren's Candyman just a head back second. They swing on to the backstretch together. 3 more to Limubai, well spotted third. Followed at the rail by Granada Flavor and Settecento outside of him. Heading to the half mile, it is Papale and Warren's Candyman. Those two right together still. 1.5 lengths, Limubai, no change in the running order. Granada Flavor, Settecento. Heading into the far turn, Warren's Candyman. Now Limubai, the first to make a move, and it's a nice one. Limubai on the outside quickens the tempo and makes it 3 of them right across the track. Warren's Candyman at the rail, Papale in between, and Limubai is the new leader. Limubai has it by a head to Papale. Warren's Candyman is next, followed by Settecento and Granada Flavor. They pass the quarter pole and turn for home. Limubai narrowly in front. Between horses, Papale. Now here's Granada Flavor coming with a nice bid in the white blinkers, and Granada Flavor with good momentum right up to Limubai. Granada Flavor takes the lead with a 1/16 of a mile to go and starts to edge away. Granada Flavor and Abel Cedillo winning convincingly by 2.5. Limubai, Settecento, Warren's Candyman, and Papale. They're in the gate. And they're off. Quick start for Boss Sully, not for lack of effort. Finally, an Eddie up close in the early going, and Stan from Malibu down at the rail, just 2 lengths off the lead. Then comes Both at Fault, racing 2 clear of Gold Express. Barely Functional is second to last as they move into the far turn, and a gap of 5 to My Ransom. Rounding the turn. And on the outside, it's not for lack of effort. Finally, an Eddie at the rail, 1.5 lengths. Boss Sully tracks them in third and comes right back for more. Then it's Stan from Malibu. Both at Fault is fifth, 4 clear of Barely Functional. Gold Express, and now My Ransom yellow blinkers going through traffic to try and come with a late bid. In the meantime, Boss Sully has overtaken the embattled leaders, opens up. Center of the track, My Ransom continues to finish with interest. Stan from Malibu is currently in second. Down on the inside, Barely Functional also finishing nicely. But Boss Sully is home. Boss Sully hammered down and responds with a convincing score. Barely Functional A very good second in his debut. Behind them, Between My Ransom and Stand for Malibu. Then it was a long way back to Both at Fault and finally an Eddie. On Whistler Style. They're in the gate. And they're off. Very even start. Ute Your Honor is quickest. Mongolian Panther comes away second. Trouville on the inside of Whistler Style and Smooth Like Butter at the rail. Into the first turn, and Ute Your Honor with those big strides goes clear. And Ute Your Honor leads it by 2 lengths. Mongolian Panther is in second. Ute Your Honor just threw her head around a little bit. In the meantime, Trouville moves up into second. Down at the rails, Smooth Like Butter, fourth, 6 lengths off the lead, 3 clear of Whistler's Style. The Serin runners are first and last. On to the backstretch, Ute Your Honor by 2 to Trouville in second. Then comes Mongolian Panther, 2.5 off the pace in third. Smooth Like Butter biding her time, 6 lengths off the lead still, and another 4 to Whistler's Style. Past the half-mile pole, Ute Your Honor and Juan Hernandez have been in control throughout. 2.5 length cushion on Mongolian Panther and Trouville. Trouville now clearly into second. Smooth Like Butter, still 5 lengths off the lead, called on now, and another 5 to Whistler's Style. Coming to the quarter pole, single file, Ute Your Honor a length and a half. Trouville in second. Now Mongolian Panther fully extended, joined by Smooth Like Butter on the outside, turning for home. Ute Your Honor clinging to a narrow lead. Trouville pestering in second. 3 more, Smooth Like Butter third. Inside the 8th pole, Ute Your Honor, Trouville, center of the track, Smooth Like Butter within 3. Smooth Like Butter starting to come now. Has to get to Trouville. Trouville got the jump. Smooth Like Butter surging. Here's the line. Smooth Like Butter in the shadow of the wire. Trouville right there in a thriller. Ute Your Honor third. Jockey change to announce in the 8th race today. 8th race, number 4, Tap It Down. The rider will now be Kyle Frey. Race 8, number 4, Kyle Frey. Waive the apprentice allowance. Weight 122. And they're off. Feathers with a nice beginning. On the outside, Aloha Kitten sprints up and Lavakina joins. Those two going pretty quickly in the opening furlong. Lavakina, intent on getting to the front, has done so, crossed and cleared. Aloha Kitten second, Harper's Gallop third, Invincibella at the rail fourth, followed by Soaring Sky. Feathers broke well, settles nicely, 6 lengths off the lead. Another 2 back to Varoma, and Lady J is at the back. 8 or 9 covers the field. They swing on to the backstretch, and it's Lavakina with a 2-length advantage on Aloha Kitten second, Invincibella at the rail third, and Harper's Gallop, red colors, 4 off the lead in fourth. Then Soaring Sky, 3 wide. At the rail, Feathers is next, a gap of 3, back to Lady J and Varoma. Lavakina heads to the half-mile pole, still in front by 2. Aloha Kitten second. Invincibella down on the inside third, and next to her, Harper's Gallop, advancing while being restrained, so she's in a good spot, 3 lengths off the lead. Then Feathers and Soaring Sky right together, followed by Varoma and Lady J. Rounding the far turn, and Aloha Kitten now comes to put serious pressure on Lavakina, and in fact runs right by her. Aloha Kitten is the leader past the quarter pole. Harper's Gallop 3 behind, then Feathers, top of the stretch. Aloha Kitten in front. At the rail, Lavakina in second. Harper's Gallop, Feathers, Varoma on the scene with a nice late bid. Here comes Varoma after Aloha Kitten, and Varoma is really sailing home. Varoma blows by late under Giovanni Franco to win it by 2.5. Aloha Kitten, Harper's Gallop, Feathers, and Lavakina. The outside. They're in the gate, and they're off. Neiman and Blocked are both very alert. In between horses, Tahoe Sunrise and Dillinger coming through along the inside. Beverly Vista, 3.5 off the pace, and Mystification trails. Tahoe Sunrise, quickest to the half-mile pole, leads it by about 3/4 of a length. Neiman hustled along to keep pace second. Dillinger along the inside of Blocked. Now there's room for Mystification, who's making an early bid through a tight spot at the rail, taking the joint third spot. Beverly Vista at the back, but 3 lengths covers the entire field. Tahoe Sunrise comes to at the rail. Dillinger getting a little bit of clear sailing in between horses, taking third. Beverly Vista has been pulled up. They turn for home, and it's Tahoe Sunrise cutting the corner with the lead. Here comes Dillinger on the outside to challenge. These are the two, Tahoe Sunrise, Dillinger. Tahoe Sunrise digging in. Dillinger with nice strides coming right to him. Tahoe Sunrise tenacious on the front end. He won't stop. Dillinger on the outside, a final try. Tahoe Sunrise beats Dillinger. Third went to Neiman, and then Mystification was fourth. Maintains her role of favorite here in the China Doll. She's the last one to load. They're in the gate. And they're off. The Wild Grazer broke inward, but did break very alertly. Tea and Conversation is up close. Here's Princess Patina now. And Princess Patina takes the lead. The pace is not fast at all. And here's Havana Angel to try and quicken that tempo, and does so. So it's Princess Patina and Havana Angel 1-2. The Wild Grazer gets in a good spot third. And Tea and Conversation fourth. Paris Secret at the rail fifth. And stretch running Comanche Country is at the back. 7 lengths covers them. And it's Princess Patina and Frankie Dettori in charge early, leading by 3. Havana Angel is second by the same margin. The Wild Grazer under a hold on the inside of Tea and Conversation. Then Paris Secret and Comanche Country starts to inch up at the fence. They're heading to the half-mile pole in the China Doll. Princess Patina loose on the front end. Still maintains a 3-length lead. Havana Angel is second past the half-mile pole. Tea and Conversation, the Wild Grazer at the rail. They are followed by Paris Secret, and on the inside, Comanche Country. Round the far turn, Princess Patina by 2.5. Havana Angel is in second. Tea and Conversation on the outside. The Wild Grazer, Comanche Country is fifth, 4 lengths off the lead. Paris Secret trails as they turn for home. Princess Patina is still there. Opens up once again, and she's full of run. Princess Patina with a 5-length lead. Comanche Country, the Wild Grazer didn't fire a yard. She's last, but it's all over on the front end. Princess Patina puts on a show and romps in the China Doll. Comanche Country second, Tea and Conversation third, then Paris Secret. They're in the gate. And they're off. Very even start. Extra innings is very quick away from there. Chicken Finger Friday up close and battles for the lead. Moontime joins the fray, as does Take Charge Curly. They're sprinting pretty quickly into the first turn. Tap It Down is just behind this group. Do It for Dave in the blue is next. Only 4 lengths off the lead, and 2 clear of Trusty Rusty. Heading to the 6 furlong pole, and it's Extra Innings the leader over Chicken Finger Friday second. Moontime, Take Charge Curly on the outside, moves up to claim third. Then Tap It Down and Do It for Dave right together with 3.5 to make up. 2 more to an unhurried Trusty Rusty. 5/8 to run. Extra Innings by a head to Chicken Finger Friday. Moontime, Take Charge Curly. These 4 separated by less than a length. Another 2, Tap It Down, Do It for Dave next, and Trusty Rusty is inching closer willingly. Only 5 lengths covers the entire group, and the new leader is Chicken Finger Friday into the far turn. Moontime takes second. Well, he tried to. Extra innings battles back along the inside. Moontime made a brief bid, but is backing up. Take Charge Curly is next. Another couple back to tap it down. Trusty Rusty. Blue Silk starting to advance with 8 to make up. And he has to catch stablemate Chicken Finger Friday, who turns for home loaded and with a 4-length lead. Chicken Finger Friday's in complete control. Take Charge Curly on the outside. Extra innings game at the rail. Past the 16th pole, and Chicken Finger Friday airs them out. Chicken Finger Friday and Edwin Maldonado by 5 easy lengths. Take Charge Curly. Extra innings. Trusty Rusty and tap it down. They're in the gate. They're off. Aventap, Palio's Princess. Between them, Topolina's a little quicker and takes the lead. The gray is quick like a bunny coming through along the inside, about 4 lengths off the lead. An Agent Mistake, She's Got Away, followed by Big Beauty second to last, and Awesome Taylor trails. Heading toward the 3/8, Topolina tries to shake loose, leads it by 2 lengths now. Aventap at the rail, Palio's Princess, and Agent Mistake, followed by Quick Like a Bunny, 4 lengths off the lead. Big Beauty trying to make some headway on the outside, followed by She's Got Away and Awesome Taylor. They have a quarter of a mile to go. It's Topolina who's been there throughout. Aventap moves to engage in second. These two, 1-2 at the top of the stretch, Quick Like a Bunny, racing on the inside of Palio's Princess and Agent Mistake on the outside, and She's Got Away. Final furlong, Topolina digs in, maintains a length lead on Aventap, trying hard. She's Got Away is flying, though. And here comes She's Got Away, and an Agent Mistake driving finish. She's Got Away. 2 for Urton and Hernandez today. An Agent Mistake came rolling. Topolina was third. She's Got Away and Awesome Taylor. They have a quarter of a mile to go. It's Topolina who's been there throughout. Aventap moves to engage in second. These two, 1-2 at the top of the stretch, Quick Like a Bunny, racing on the inside of Palio's Princess and Agent. They're in the gate. And they're off. Quick start for Pleasant in the center. Rubinell on the far outside. They're joined by Virasana. And Virasana now takes second behind Pleasant as they get to the main track. Rubinell gets a perfect trip in third, about 2.5 off the lead, followed by Enclosure, who has 6 lengths to make up. Mahina and Magazine are right together, and 3 strands at the back of the field. Virasana has passed the half-mile pole with a 3/4 length lead. Pleasant is in hand, ready to come after her in second, and Rubinell a comfortable third, inching up while 3 wide. Now Pleasant on even terms takes the lead from Virasana. Rubinell a length behind them in third. Enclosure is in fourth, 4 lengths off the pace. 3 strands is next, right next to Magazine, and Mahina outside of them. They have a quarter of a mile to go. It's Pleasant, the new leader, hasn't been asked to run yet. On the outside, Rubinell moves to challenge. And at the fence, Virasana fighting bravely inside the 8th pole. Pleasant has plenty left in the tank. Rubinell a half length back second. These are the two. It's Pleasant and Rubinell, and Pleasant very strong. Pleasant makes her debut, a sharp winning one. Rubinell was second best. Enclosure third, then Virasana and 3 strands. Whose Candy is next? And Atomic Drop to the outside. They're in the gate, and they're off. Very fast beginning, as usual, for Moose Mitchell, who vies for the lead. Whose Candy is sprinting pretty quickly. Atomic Drop is on the far outside. Ooh Babe is fourth, just 3 lengths off the pace, followed by Franklin One Star inside Minister Shane. Then Mamba Cool with 6 lengths to make up, racing 2 in front of Leia's Candy, and Shortman is the distant trailer. Down the hill, and it's Who's Candy showing the way. Leads by 1.5 lengths. Atomic Drop is in second. Franklin One Star races in third, and Moose Mitchell fourth, 3 lengths off the lead. Then Ooh Babe racing on the outside of Minister Shane, 2 lengths clear of Mamba Cool, Leia's Candy, and Shortman. They're coming toward the quarter pole. Who's Candy? Atomic Drop moves to challenge in second. Who's Candy shifting about as Atomic Drop pounces. Just in behind them, Franklin One Star on the inside. Moose Mitchell is very much in it. Extreme outside. Ooh Babe with some late interest and dangerous interest too. Final 16th, Atomic Drop. Here's Leia's Candy threading through traffic, diving down toward the rail. In between horses, Minister Shane, a driving finish. Even Ooh Babe. Here's the line. Minister Shane wins it all. Ooh Babe, an oncoming Mamba Cool is in that battle, along with Leia's Candy. Shortman was trying to sneak into the super high five outside Atomic Drop. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park. The track is fast and the turf is firm. Here are the early changes. In the first race, start of the 50-cent early pick 5, no scratches or jockey changes. Same story in race number 2, start of the early pick 4. The third is the Sensational Star Stakes. No changes. In the fourth, there's a blinker note. The fifth has a middle pick 4 offered with the 11 race card, no changes. In the sixth race, we start the Rainbow Pick 6. The jackpot today will start at $157,000. No changes. Turning to race 7. Number 7, Mila's Papa, is scratched. Race 7, scratch number 7. In the 8th, scratch number 7, Donna's Mischief. The 7th starts the late pick 5. The 8th starts the late pick 4. Race 8, scratch number 7, Donna's Mischief. In the 9th race, scratch number 11, C-. Scratch number 14, Ashley's Sandcastle. Number 13 draws in and will run. The 10th starts the Golden Hour pick 4, no scratches or jockey changes. And the 11th starts the Golden Hour double. Just the Please note, the only change in race 11 is a blinker note. All horses are in the 11th race today. All horses in the 11th. There's just the blinker note for number 4. Those are the changes on today's program. Again, no scratches out of race 11. Enjoy your day at Santa Anita Park. Post time for the first is in 57 minutes at 12:30. Up next, Quigley's Corner with today's seminar.
In life, you got to know what you're good at, right? Whether it's at your job or in your relationship, or maybe even when you were educated, you had to know where your strengths and weaknesses were. And certainly our guest today as a horse player knows exactly what his strengths are. His forte is turf racing. You've seen him on the seminar before. You also hear him on the Racing Jason show every Saturday morning. His name's Steve Pollack. Steve, happy Sunday. Welcome to the seminar.
Man, it's great to be here.
The studio's kind of cool, isn't it?
The studio is cool. What a place this is. I mean, my wife and I are looking up here at the mountains, and we're going, what a great place.
We don't call it the Great Race Place for nothing.
Awesome.
And you can't really even see the mountains today. A little bit cloud cover, certainly nothing to worry about. Main track is fast, turf course is firm. And 5 turf races today, which is why I wanted to have you on. I'm glad you're here. But let's talk about why you specialize in turf racing, Steve. What is it about turf racing that kind of attracts you into handicapping those races more aggressively than the main track races?
Probably because from the beginning I was good at it, Tom. I mean, you know, you're going to go with what you're good at, and I've been, you know, from the very first time I went to the races, I went over with a couple professional golfers. Believe it or not, I was about 16 years old.
Were they any good as handicappers?
They were not good as handicappers.
But they were good at golf.
They were good at golf. They were good at golf, but not good at handicapping. what I noticed right from the very first time I was at the track was how in the turf races, the ground save versus ground loss. And I can tell you that from the first time that I saw that, it's still been a staple for me. I'm still into watching how a horse can really run well and not even hit the board because they've gone so wide, and how you try to get a better trip, try to get that horse to get a better trip, maybe next time out by saving some ground, and how you can win a race with a horse that's inferior to a horse that's maybe running faster numbers. I do use thoroughgraph numbers, but there are ways to win with slower horses by getting good trips.
And let's face it, jockeys are important in turf racing as well, right? There are certain jockeys that ride the turf course extremely well. Other jockeys, not so much. And I'm sure you migrate to some of the better turf riders when you're doing your handicap.
Certainly try to. We're going to start off the first race with a jock that's a little questionable, but we're going to get a price.
Well, let's talk about that, Steve. It's funny you would segue into that, but of course, race 1 begins the popular 50-cent early pick 5. And we are on the turf course today. The rails are at 20 feet, at 0 feet, I should say. And the condition for this first race is $32,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 races lifetime. A field of 8, the morning line favorite in the current betting choice at 2-1 is number 7, Lands Down. But before we get your thoughts on the race, Steve, there are 3 runners coming out, or 3 runners, I should say, in this race that are coming out of a common race. It was back on February 11th. It was the 5th race. We're going to show the replay. The runner we want to pay attention to is number 2 today, Petruccio, who ironically breaks from post position number 2 in this particular race back on February 11th. Let's listen to Frank Miramati describe the action.
In the lime colors, and Papa Tiger and Brace for Impact go on to duel on the front end. Constant Conflict is just off them in 3rd with a length to make up, and Thanks Maggio is now 4th, 4 lengths off the lead. Relaxed Artist is next, followed by Missed Call. Petruccio is second to last, and Kimmer in between those two. Papa Tiger takes him around the far turn, pressed by Brace for Impact second. 2.5 more, Constant Conflict, followed by Thanks Maggio, and Relaxed Artist is 5th, 5 off the lead. Missed Call, Petruccio, and Kimmer, they're a 1/4 mile from home. Papa Tiger, Brace for Impact. Nice move from Constant Conflict coming after the top pair now, and Constant Conflict is up to take the lead. Looking for room is Petruccio. He's blocked right now, coming one from the inside, and Kimmer is also closing stoutly. Here comes Kimmer on the outside, trying to get to Constant Conflict. Kimmer, Constant Conflict, they hit the wire together. Kimmer wins it. Constant Conflict, Papa Tiger.
Blanket finish there, Steve. We saw Papa Tiger on the lead. Also, Petruccio had trouble, as we heard Frank Miramati describe. Also, Thanks Maggio was in that blanket finish as well. What was it about Petruccio's performance that you wanted to point out?
2 times I thought, Tom, 2 times I thought he had to hesitate there. Didn't make the quick decision that he needed to at the top of the lane. He could have had a split right there. And then late in the race, he looked like he was blocked again. I don't know if he was winning, Tom, but he was going to be right on the wire. He's going to be in the photo. It wasn't incredibly blatant, but I thought he ran a very good race. And it's a couple interesting things about this horse. One is he's going to have that same rider ride back. And I don't generally like to bet bugs when they make mistakes like that one did. But you got to factor it into your price.
And look at your price right now, double the morning line, 8-1 off a 4-1 morning line.
Right now he's 8-1. Now there's a reason he's 8-1. And I do not want to knock these guys, but I want people to know about everything that's going on in racing. Southern California right now, the guys that are dictating the prices are the clockers. They're very good at what they do. Very, very good at what they do. Petruccio came up with a negative work last time.
But that was on the main track.
It was on the main track. That's the whole key. I'm telling you, these guys are great clockers. In fact, I do pay, and we might come up with later on who I'm paying every night, because I think they do extremely good work. And if I want to try to hit a pick 6, I'd certainly rather have their information, because it's better to not have. But in turf races, I know at certain times I'm going to get a better price because of them saying that work was just a C+ work. So I think Petruccio is a good play in here. I think Lands Down, the 7, is the horse to beat. This horse is going to come running too. Now, it looks to me, Tom, like there's at least 4 speeds in here.
Yes.
They're going to fly. Frankly, this race, they've had 10 of these races so far. 5 been won by closers, 1 by a deep closer. So this horse is going to be in the right spot. It's really a matter of getting the room. I think this horse runs good today. And again, we're getting a little better price than John White thought we were going to get, and that's fine with me. So I like Petruccio on top. And for some of the similar reasons, and boy, oh boy, has Hernandez been great, right? I mean, he's just so confident right now, and he just seems to be making all the right moves. This is the horse to beat, has a little bit more consistent sheet. And by that, I mean, I use Thoroughgraph. This horse seems to run good every time. Doesn't go in and out, runs very good every time. He's the horse to hold off, certainly, and the one to beat. So for me, the first race is 2-7.
2-7, so says Steve Pollack, our seminar guest today. One thing you don't see in the racing form is the betting action Petruccio took last time out. He was morning line 12-1 on the morning line, got bet down, as you can see, to the 5-2 favoritism. Certainly expectations were high, and as we just saw in that replay, perhaps he should have been unsaddled for the win. Race number 2 begins the 50-cent early pick 4, sprinting 6 furlongs on the main track. This race is for fillies and mares. $20,000 is the claiming tag. Non-winners of 3 races lifetime. We've got a field of 6, and speaking of bug boys, the 10-pound bug boy rides the morning line favorite number 6, Double Fantasy, 2-1 according to our morning line odds maker John White. Steve, what say you about race 2?
That horse can win. I mean, it could definitely win. I don't know much about this guy. I'm going to certainly keep my eyes on it. I think it's real important to keep your eye on these bugs when they first come, because if you can get a good feel for them, you're going to get a price down the road, and you know that they
until
can ride.
They're discovered by the betting public.
Exactly. So I ended up on the 4 Big Bell in here. This horse is back in 7 days, which is always tough. But I think this horse is going to get a good trip. It's Hernandez again. Sweet Soul looks like the trainer situation. I think this guy will be okay with this horse with the blinkers on. And I think this horse will be in contention here, maybe at a price. But I ended up with Big Bell on top. 4-5 for me, one of the few races that I thought was really going to be shorter price horses on a day that I've got a lot of longer price horses marked. I'll go 4-5 in the second.
Let's take a look at race 3. It's our feature race on today's card. It's the Sensational Star Stakes. We're coming down the hillside turf course, 6.5 furlongs to the distance. This race is for Calbreds. We've got a field of 5. Number 3, the Chosen Vron, who is a fantastic Calbred, is a 3-5 morning line favorite. Speaking of Sensational Star, Steve, you can't say those 2 words without thinking of Bill Sparr, who recently retired. He was a fantastic trainer, dipping in for claiming horses like Sensational Star and turning them into stakes winners. We're going to miss his presence around the racetrack.
Can't replace a Bill Sparr, can you? I mean, it's amazing how long some of these trainers. I think Bill was here when I started the game. I mean, we're talking 35 years. I think you and I have been playing for, we're getting close to 40 years now.
Easily, and Bill's in his 80s.
Been there the whole time. Just a stalwart, great trainer. I mean, it's really cool when you know a guy is doing it on the straight and narrow, like Bill. No shortcuts. And what a great job. It was really cool that he won the Breeders' Cup Sprint a few years back, and very deserving, and just a tremendous presence that we're going to miss.
Who's going to win race 3, named in honor of Sensational Star?
All right, everybody's playing the Chosen Vron in here. It's a racing form consensus best bet, and this horse has won a lot of races in a row. I don't think he's quite as good on the turf. On the Thoroughgraph sheets, he's a little bit slower on turf. And I think he can be beaten in here. Now, I'll tell you, there's a horse in here that just ran a tremendous race first time out. And that is a horse named Fast Buck. His first couple races were incredible. You could see on his races, if you watch the replay, and you could see on his sheet that he got a little bit worse each time. He ran a real fast number first time, a little worse the second, a little worse the third, but he still won 3 out of 4 of those races. I would tell you, go to the winner's circle and cash your ticket on this horse if it weren't raining here a little bit.
Let's call it drizzle.
The drizzle tends to make this course a little bit more lush, and the rails are at 0, which you mentioned right off the start. That helps the closers too. It's a short field, so the closers are going to have first crack. I think Indian Peak is really dangerous in here late. That horse has run some great races down the hill if Fast Buck folds it up. But I love Maldonado on the lead. I love the outside draw. You've heard a lot of people say the outside is like the inside, and it is. They're right on the money with that. So having the 5 posts in here, the way Fast Buck is going to get to go outside and then cut across. And this horse should be well in front. And I think Indian Peak will make a big run. I think they can beat Chosen Vron in here. So I'm going to go 5/4 in the third race today.
Let's turn the page. Take a look at race number 4. We're going 1 mile on the main track for fillies and mares. $16,000 is the claiming tag. Non-winners of 2 races lifetime. A field of 5. The favorite on the rail, number 1, Busker Alley, one of 3 morning line favorites, trained by Phil D'Amato, 2-1 with the bug boy in the saddle once again. Talk to us about race 4, Steve.
Tough race to bet, Tom. I think all 5 have some shot in here. I ended up on the 2 Moonlit Heaven. I'm not afraid to bet maiden $20,000 horses that look like they're coming into form in a non-winner 2 lifetime race. These are not great races. This horse is getting better. The sheet on this horse, slight improvement each time, and I think you might even see slight improvement today. Barn going very good. Yachtine is doing really, really well. And Herrera, this guy's okay. Not a big price, 3-1, but there's not going to be a big price in here. Busker Alley, The races don't look good in the form. His numbers on the sheets are the same as these other horses. Going to save ground, and inside has been really good going 2 turns this whole meet, Tom. So I'm going 2-1 in this 4th race on a race that I probably will not bet.
On an 11 race card, we offer a 50-cent middle pick 4, which kicks off in race number 5. We're sprinting 5.5 furlongs on the turf course. Again, this race is for 3-year-olds, allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than. 2 geldings in this race. Number 1, the Bullion Bomber, and number 3, Quagmire Magic, are both first-time geldings. The morning line favorite, number 4, Mass Rapido from the Bob Hess Barn, a lukewarm 7-2 morning line favorite. Before we get your thoughts on the race, we were talking about talented turf jockeys. What about Frankie Dettori joining the Southern California Jockey Colony? Tremendous addition to our jockey colony.
I had no idea he was that good. I figured if he's going to be good, he's going to be good on closers.
Or stakes races, picking
exactly.
spots. But he rides every race.
Every race incredible. And what's really impressive is how well he's riding the front.
Yes,
right.
Yesterday.
I mean, I figured he's going to be winning on closers, and most of the European jockeys are closers. No way. And I'll tell you what. He's got to be in his mid 50s, right?
Early 50s.
Don't
50s.
overage him. I'm sorry. I'm trying to put him at my age. I'm trying to. I'll tell you what. He's tough to go by.
Yeah.
For a guy in his 50s, it's like
this is not an easy task, riding a thoroughbred in your early 50s.
Not at all. Not at all. I've been extremely impressed with him, no doubt about it. And he is a plus. And I'll tell you, there's another jockey in his 50s that's riding great right now, and he's had a lot of ups and downs. But it's my man Kent DeSormo.
Absolutely. You don't win 3 Kentucky Derbies by accident. That's exactly what Ken has done. It's good to see him back on the straight and narrow again.
Incredible.
And riding really well at a high level.
I hope. Yeah, I'm hoping.
Day to day, that's for sure. All right, Frankie's on the favorite here in race 5. Is he going to win, or are you looking elsewhere?
Well, I'm going to look elsewhere. I'm going to say that for most of the card today because I've got mostly
just your style.
It is my style. There's a lot of speed in this race again, and it could be that Kingdom Heart might be the speed of the speed, and I would put that horse second. But Jam Session looks like he wants to go. Rexford looks like he wants to go. And I'll tell you another rider that's riding great is this Hector Barrios. And
Tremendous.
He's on Valiancer. And from the post that this horse is at, I liked his race 2 back against Hawker, and I liked that 9-length loss. That horse that beat him was a monster in that race 3 back. Finally put it together last time. Here's another maiden going against winners, but I'm okay with that, especially with the trip that this horse is going to get. Again, I think there's a lot of pace. More than half of these races have been won by this type of closer, so I'm putting Valiancer right up the line. There's another trainer that is really sharp right now. Jeff Mullins having a great meet. All his horses, they look impeccable. They really do. I know you're a paddock guy. His horses look as good as anybody's out there. So I'm putting Valiancer on top and Kingdom Heart second in here. Those 2 in the 5th race.
Sharp trainers and sharp jockeys make for good gambling, and that's certainly what we've had here at the Great Race Place. Race number 6 on the 11 race card begins the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6, the jackpot single ticket carryover, now up to $157,000. That will be yours to win today, plus whatever is wagered if you're the only winning ticket in today's sequence. And we kick things off going a mile and a 16th on the main track for allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 2 other than. Take note number 5, Tayshawn is a first-time gelding, the morning line favorite. Armagnac is 9 to, let me rephrase that. Armagnac is 8-5 on John White's morning line. Give us your thoughts on race 6, Steve.
The big thought is I've never thought Armagnac was a very good horse.
I agree with you.
I mean, this horse is always bet, and you know what? He can win this race. He's got numbers, often thoroughgraph numbers, occasionally that are as good as the best horses in here.
But he's thrown in a lot of clunkers.
He's thrown in a lot of clunkers, and at even money, which is what Baffert seems to go off at all the time, I think is worth playing against, and there might even be a little straight play in this race for those that like to bet straight. I like the 1, Midnight Mammoth. I thought this horse ran great last time. Dueled, ended up outside, kept fighting all the way, and just kept running. And if you look at this guy's sheet, 3 races back on the dirt, his 3 races. I'm not looking at the turf races. I'm going back to the Pleasanton race. He ran a 4 on the sheets. That's a real competitive number in here. The race 2 back on the dirt ran a 10, and the last race ran an 8. He just looks like he's a horse that's heading in the right direction. Craig DeLasse, I tell you what, here's an old-time trainer. There's 3 trainers that I feel are exactly the same. Marty Jones, Gary Studi, and Craig DeLasse. All their dads were good. When they started out, when they were young trainers, they were really good. And now, because the Hollywood Park shuts down, and that's where their barn was, they can't seem to get horses anymore. But I'll tell you what.
When they do, they usually deliver.
They deliver. All three of those guys. I always like having them in my corner. So this is one of my trainers. Remember Craig actually won a Breeders' Cup race with Re-Race? I mean, how good was
Churchill
he?
Downs, Corey Nakatani in the saddle.
There you go. Man, oh man, you're a sharp guy.
I wouldn't go that far, but speaking of sharp guys, take note that after race number 6, there's going to be a presentation in the winner's circle for the George Wolf Memorial Jockey Award. It goes to Javier Castellano. He's not riding on today's card, but he'll certainly be in attendance here with his family at the Great Race Place. It'll be great to honor Javi. Race number 7 begins the 50-cent late pick 5, once again sprinting 5.5 furlongs on the turf course. This is for Calbred 3-year-olds, an allowance optional claiming race, non-winners of 1 other than. Scratch the 7 leaves us with a field of 7. Also take note, number 4, Proof She Zips is a filly running against the boys. The morning line favorite on the bottom for Phil D'Amato, number 8, Tom and Jazzy, 3-1 on the morning line. What are your thoughts on race 7, Steve?
Well, my top horse scratched out of this race. So my second horse was Upward Mobility, who I think is going to be in a good position. With the scratch of the 7, I would move the 2 up. I think this horse could be a wire-to-wire factor, as there's a lot less speed in here with the 7 out of the race. So I'm going to go 1-2 in here on a race that I'm a little indifferent with. 7 and 8 were not the greatest, but I think this card finishes really well. So I'm going to tread lightly with my 7-horse scratch in there. 1 and 2.
Steve mentioned the card gets good as we continue on, and it certainly does in race number 8. Take a look at this field size. We're going to have 11 runners competing in race number 8. That's because number 7, Donna's Mischief, has scratched. Also, race 8 begins the 50-cent late pick 4. We're sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track. Maiden claiming 3-year-old fillies in for a $30,000 tag. The lukewarm favorite, number 4, Filthy Fast from the Luis Mendez barn. 7-2 on the morning line. Another live opportunity for the Bug Boy here. Could be a big day for him if John White is right. Do you think he's right in race 8?
Could be. I'm going to use that horse. I'm going to put him in second. I want to mention the 12, Lucky Vegas, because this horse has a really nice improving sheet. The works are good on this horse. Tom, what I don't like, and what a lot of people do like in these races, I don't like the outside. At Santa Anita, if you don't get over by the time they're turning, you're in trouble.
You can just look at the post position results. They have it printed in the program, and the farther outside you go in these sprint races, the number of victories starts to decrease for whatever reason. Outside is actually a detriment sprinting here on the main track.
It's incredible, and everybody's like, oh, great, he's drawn outside. She's drawn outside. If they can get position, it's fine. It really is. Yeah. I really think that's what the difference. And I don't think it's just this meet. I think that's for 30 years.
And the Legacy Ranch horse who broke the maiden on a Friday, if you remember, I can't remember who was in the saddle, but I believe broke from post position 12, cleared early, got down inside, and therefore the post position was irrelevant.
As soon as they get position, they're fine. If you can't, I would keep my eyes on Lucky Vegas for down the road. Still might be a horse that I'm not saying you can't win from there, but it might be a horse that I would put in a stable male situation, knowing that I sort of liked him going in. But I don't think he can win because of the 12 hole. I think this race is wide open. Going to go with a first-time starter here, and we're going to pull out a trainer angle on this one because Dean Peterson had the most incredible year last year.
Particularly at Delmore.
Whew, man. I mean, he was hot as a firecracker. I think at one time he was 7 for 8. Is that?
Yep,
that
sounds right.
So he started this year a little bit slow, 1 for 11 with 4 seconds. Very good with first-time starters. I did get the workout on this horse. The workout's okay on this horse. Cedillo's got to be about as hungry as can be. I mean, you talk about a guy that went down because of all these jockeys that shipped in. Yep. This guy was second or third on the jockey colony for a couple of years here. He did get a win the other day. He could get a win here with the 9 horse. This is definitely a horse to use in your pick 4. I think Filthy Fast is the horse to beat. That horse has the best numbers on the sheets. I like 9-4 in the 8th race.
10-1 morning line for Steve's top pick in race number 8, number 9, Miss Joni. Race number 9, sprinting again, 5.5 furlongs on the turf course. Calbred maiden special weight, 3-year-old fillies. 2 scratches here. Scratch the 11 and the 14. That means one of the also eligibles. Number 13, Isabel Ludlow, does draw into the body of the field, and she is the 2-1 morning line favorite. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Steve, we want to watch a replay that a number of these runners exit, specifically General Warfare, Bejan Bayshirt, and Idessa all exit this race. This race was on dirt. Keep in mind, this race is on the turf course. But the one we want to pay attention to is Idessa breaking from the far outside post position in this replay we're about to show you back from February 13th. Let's listen to Frank Miramati describe the action.
And they're off. General Warfare began very quickly. Bejan Bayshirt is matching strides, and here's Nene Diamond coming through in the orange colors now, and Nene Diamond is faster than all. Idessi is the gray on the outside, 4th, 3.5 off the lead. The 2 trailers, Ashley Sandcastle and Miss Joe's Candy, the distant trailer. Nene Diamond passes the half-mile pole, cruising along, 2-length lead. General Warfare in second. Bejan Bashert is third in the red colors, joined by Edesia, who now takes the third spot. At the rail, Ashley's Sandcastle is 5 off the lead and a big gap to Miss Joe's Candy. It's Nene Diamond coming to the quarter pole in command and widening at will. And Nene Diamond has built up nearly a 5-length cushion turning for home. General Warfare, Ashley's Sandcastle at the rail. Bejan Bashert is starting to pick up a little bit of momentum on the outside now with a furlong to go and Nene Diamond to catch. 4-length lead. Bejan Bashert into second, 16th pole, and Nene Diamond never gave them a chance. Nene Diamond dominant, scores by 3.5 under a hand rod. General Warfare.
Steve, it's not often we see a 12-1 morning line on a turf runner trained by Phil D'Amato, but that's exactly what we see in race number 9 with number 8, Idesia. What is it about Idesia that you like today?
Okay, first of all, in that race right there, horse broke from the far outside.
Yep.
Good friend of ours, Dennis DeCower, told me this years ago. He calls it a system horse. When they break from the far outside, they tend to break outward. This one broke outward.
Because there's open space.
It's open space. They go to the right. Okay, so this one goes outward and runs very even with all the horses all the way into that turn, which we talked about earlier. Can't be there. Just can't be there. That race is a lot better than look, but basically this horse is bred, going to go into the breeding. I use the Thorograph information. They give what the dam's offspring have run. They give the numbers. This horse is a half, meaning has the same mother. It's 2 offspring that have run real fast numbers on the sheets on turf. So this horse has what I call turf foot. This horse should improve on the turf. Got a really good trainer, and we got a buried first race. You don't want to see him run great first race on the dirt because you want a price.
Learning experience.
They get the learning experience. They get the dirt in their face. I call it dirty face. I love to see him get that dirt in their face because they're going to be a buried horse when they get to the turf. So we've got a pretty even field here. Unfortunately, the 13 draws in. I didn't know that last night. That makes a little bit of a damper, but I think that'll keep our price up. And I really think this horse is going to wake up on the turf. I've got this horse on top. I've got the 3 in second. Again, I did this before knowing the 13 would get in. I would probably put that horse second. I think you're pretty solid with those 3 if you're playing a late pick 4. But I think the 8 is a very good chance at a double-digit price.
Race number 10 begins the $1 Golden Hour pick 4, linking our last 2 races here at Santa Anita with the last 2 races at Golden Gate. Always pays well because it's a higher minimum with lower takeout. And we kick things off here in race number 10, sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track for Calbred, allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than. A field of 8, again, a lukewarm morning line favorite. This is a tremendous late pick 5 sequence, is number 2, Creative Peak, 7-2 from the Vladimir Sarin barn. I know you're not picking the favorite here, are you, Steve?
No, he can win. That horse can win, no doubt about it. I got 2 horses I like. I got to put the 6 horse on top, Tom. This horse has got a crazy sheet. He's run 3 2s, which is a Breeders' Cup type number in his last 10 races. All 3 of those races are at Santa Anita. Do I know whether he's going to run that with Los Al Works today? I like the price. I like where he's going to be early. He's going to be tracking. I don't think he's going to go too wide. And at a price, I think he's got a good shot. Good horse to use in the pick 4. I think the horse to beat is My Man Bags. This horse was on the rail when the rail I thought was dead on the 20th of January. A little better post today. I think the lightweight really comes into play and is a solid thing for these kind of races. So I'm going to put him second. Creative Peak looks like the horse for those 2 to beat. 6 and 3 in here for me in the 10th race.
We close out the day and we close out the weekend. Race number 11, going 1 mile on the turf course. This is a starter allowance race. Also, it begins the $5 Golden Hour Daily Double. Similar concept. Last race here with the last race at Golden Gate. We've got a field of 9. Morning line favorite is number 5, Flint Stroll from the George Papadroma barn. Again, a 7-2 morning line favorite. I know you like this race. Tell us why.
Well, the 5 and the 2 are the horses to beat. Flint Stroll is pretty consistent, but I just, this horse just isn't great. He did get claimed out of a non-winners of 2. D'Amato lost him a few races back. He couldn't get him to run any better. I think he's okay. I think he's one of the ones, and I think Oncoming ran a good race last time. The 2 prices that I'm looking at, one is One Fast Bro, and one of the reasons is because Kent is just riding so good right now, and I think this horse is going to get the right pace. But the horse I was really looking at until I saw the rain was the 3, Barsabas. This horse ran an amazing race in the Oceanside Stakes as a 3-year-old. Coming out in his 4-year-old season, was a little bit against it last time. I thought Closers did well that day. I think Barsabas is going to be tough to catch. That's our boy Dettori again. I like those 2 horses that if I'm going to play this race, I'm going to do some sort of exotic with 2, 3, 5, and 6.
Steve, it's poetry to my ears, and I'm sure many of the viewers watching to hear you listen and dissect a race. Keep up the good work. You can hear Steve's work every Saturday on the Racing Jason radio show, broadcast here from Southern California, but you can find it on the internet as well. It's a pleasure having you here, Steve, in the studio. Keep up the great work, and we'll do it again sometime soon.
We will do it again for sure. Love this game, and enjoy yourselves today, folks.
Thanks to all of you for watching. As if 11 races at Santa Anita wasn't enough, we've got one more wager to tease you with. That would be the Coast to Coast Pick 5. It combines races from Gulfstream Park and Santa Anita, and you can see right here, it kicks things off in Gulfstream Park race number 8. 1:07 p.m. Pacific time will be first post. That's a wrap for today. Live racing resumes on Friday. We'll see you then, everybody. Have fun and good luck.
Please rise for our national anthem.